So in this position, you have to first master a full side plank. So a full side plank is going to be on my feet and on my elbows, and it's a straight line between my feet, my knee, my hip, and my shoulder all the way through. My elbow is going to be right underneath my shoulder. I don't want it out here. It's not going to feel good on my shoulder. I also don't want it here. It's going to make it very hard. So the elbow is going to be right underneath the shoulder. The big key to feel your bottom glute working is that I want to push down into the mat. I'm not just going to lift myself up with the upper body. I actually want to push down. Pushing down lifts my hips up, and I should be feeling my bottom hip engaged. So you have to master this first. Once you get that mastered, you can use a piece of tubing like this. This is a TheraBand CLX. I'm going to be in here, and then you're going to want to perform shoulder external rotation, which is this motion. So I'm going to be up here and performing out like so. And you're going to feel both shoulders working a lot harder with this added component. And again, the big key, if you see from the side, is if you draw a line between my shoulder and elbow, it's pure motion of rotation. I'm not lifting the elbow up. I'm not moving it forward, moving it back as I'm rotating. It's pure motion happening at the shoulder joint.
For this exercise, you want to anchor a band about shoulder height, and then from here you're focusing on just rotating at the shoulder, kind of like this. You don't want to move the whole arm. You want to just focus on this rotation plane right here. So, for example, I'm here and I'm pulling the band back, and I start to oscillate pretty quickly. This is a quick pull here. You should really focus on pulling with the back of the shoulder, and that's where most of the burn is going to be with this exercise.
So in this exercise, I'm going to be lying on my back in a comfortable position. The goal of the exercise is to imagine there's a rod going through my elbow, straight through my shoulder, and I'm doing pure rotation around that axis backwards, and then pure rotation going forward. Because the arm is kind of at your side and resting on the ground, it's going to give you that feedback, so that way your elbow should not be sliding at all on the ground. It should be stuck in one place. It's going to rotate backwards as far as the range as you have. I have pretty good external rotation, so I can get back here. And then it's going to rotate purely going in. And again, you're trying not to move it. You're trying to rotate it on a pure axis as it does that. So with the weight, what it's going to look like is this. You're going to be rotating back and then rotating forward. And again, my elbow moves ever so slightly on the ground to keep that axis, because if I didn't, I would just be rolling forward and back. So I am slightly moving it a little bit to keep it in that plane.
Couple things with this exercise. Get anchors set up where they're about shoulder height, and then we're going to perform a high row first. So our palms are about shoulder height, driving the elbows back just to they're in line with our shoulders. They're the same height. And now from here, you're going to rotate your hands up towards the ceiling, not compensating at the wrist. And then we're again just rotating at our shoulder joint. So again, it looks like this. Rotate those knuckles towards the ceiling. I'm going to demonstrate it from the side so that you can get a different angle. Again, have it set up where the anchor is about shoulder width height. You're going to drive those elbows back, then rotate up, slowly back down, and repeat. The biggest thing that you want to focus on is try to just rotate, keep those elbows still.
Here's a side-lying external rotation. For this exercise, what you want to focus on in the side-lying position is keeping the scapula, that shoulder blade pulled back. And then from this position, you'll put a towel or something a little bit under the elbow just to elevate the arm a tiny bit. And then from here, what you want to focus on is bringing the hand from your stomach, rotating it out as far as you can, and try to bring the thumb towards the wall. So I'm pulling up as high as I can from here, and then I'm slowly coming back. This is a controlled exercise. You don't have to work too hard here. Just rotate out, make sure you keep the scapula engaged here, and then slowly come back. If you want to add resistance, you can either use a TheraBand or a weight. For example, in this position, I can have a weight, and then pull up, and then slowly come back. Or I can use a band. With the band, I can anchor it to my other hand if I want. And then from here, I'm just doing the same exact motion. I'm rotating outwards as far as I can. I'm feeling a lot of the muscles in the back of my shoulder work here.